Hello everybody and welcome to this week's edition of the ITK Soccer Show. My name is Neil Marshall and I am joined by John Carroll, who's going to be here talking all the latest news in football, and Dan O'Carroll, who's going to be talking over all of us. So,
No, I'm not. What are you doing?
So how are things, guys?
It's fine, how are you?
Jesus Christ, you're shouting.
I think we should start with just congratulations to Chelsea for winning the Premier League there on Saturday. Like.
You know, here we are. How many weeks in are we?
Couldn't have started the football podcast last year when the Premier League was sound open. It's over now.
It's over.
Yeah, like last year, I'd say February, there was kind of, this is before Arsenal just completely just threw it away and Chelsea kind of just started losing all their games away from them. There was still actually a realistic chance, 4 teams were a good chance of winning it.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of knew Arsenal would probably fade, but they were still in the hunt. Like, you couldn't say, you know, they're miles away. Like, you know, it's quite the turnaround this season, isn't it?
Yeah, Wenger has already come out. We'll talk about Arsenal's terrible week, but Wenger came out and said it's theirs. I guess Pellegrini hasn't come out and said it's theirs, but he's not going to yet. It just doesn't seem very likely that anybody has a shout. Yahoo had an article today about people who've been in similar positions before, but obviously failed to get the job done. But what they neglected to put into their article was that the teams that would eventually come and challenge for it this year are all like doing terrible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not like the top 4 is taking shape and they've pulled ahead. It's like there is no rhyme or reason for this league at the moment.
I think this is, it's good to see, I suppose, different teams up there, and like obviously Southampton, they're not going to finish second, or West Ham probably.
You see the
third or
next few
fourth.
games, it's like play Arsenal and United twice and all that sort of stuff. You're like, well.
Really, yeah.
Don't
To
know
be
that.
fair, they're second by merit, like, you know.
Yeah.
But like the whole thing is though, like, it's just the standard this season is just,
Oh, it's horrific.
it's quite shocking. Like, I don't think, like, besides Chelsea, what other big team has been good? Like, who's the highest? Is Arsenal? No, City are second, but they've been,
City.
But Arsenal, what, are 5th? They're the highest, and look how good bad they've been. Like,
Yeah.
Liverpool are what, 13th? Spurs are 12th.
11th.
What are Spurs? 14th, 12th,
below us on
13th?
goal difference.
You know, like
Everton
Man
are ahead of
United.
us on goal difference.
Man United are just behind Arsenal. It's just bad stuff. Like Everton, poor start.
Yeah.
You know.
No, it's wacky. It's the strangest one I've ever seen. It's usually around this time of the year, at least the first week in December, where it starts to become clear. You know, you can pretty much pick the pockets. It's like, here are the people who are most likely battling for the Premier League. Here are the people who are most likely battling for UEFA Cup spots. Here's the relegation, and everybody else is miscellaneous. You couldn't call it. You just, right now, you could not call it. I think that it's a fair bet to say that United, City, Liverpool and Arsenal will be somewhere in the top 6 mix, but there's no defining factor to say it's a surefire
The
bet.
thing is that everyone's been equally terrible. Like, you saw how quickly Newcastle shot up the table from like just a couple of wins in a row. Like,
Pardew was going to be sacked apparently if they lost that game against who was it? Who did they beat?
Liverpool, maybe.
Like
No,
Swansea,
no,
Swansea,
that.
Swansea came into this weekend the top 4. They've lost their last 4 games. It's just because they won their first 3. Like, it's fucked, you know. Okay, so we'll talk about the Premier League in detail a little bit later on, as well as previewing some of the international fixtures, focusing mainly on Ireland and Scotland. We'll do the normal awards, the teasers, and we will do our fantasy standings update. Before that, we will start with Champions League from this past week. I guess we'll do Tuesday night first. So I guess Madrid and Liverpool. The talking point here after a 1-0 victory in the Bernabeu was Rodgers' team selection.
I was at Griffith College seeing The Guardian.
How did that go?
I got there a bit early and I was sitting there like having a pint or whatever. I saw the team sheet and I was like, I want to go home.
Yeah.
I just got there and I can't remember who it was. Just goes, well, it's not going to be a draw.
Quick question. You know, the way if no one was really expecting anything, and to be honest, I saw the highlights. I didn't see the full game. I saw the highlights of it, and Liverpool actually, they weren't disgraced. It was a 1-0 battering, but
I don't think it was that much of a battering. I think he put out a team that
they were never gonna. They never looked like they were gonna get it from, but they only lost 1-0.
I thought they did alright. They had a couple of chances, I thought, but like I didn't realize how quick Varane was. Like you're trying to use Markovic's pace, and he was
Varane. Him and Ramos have to play centre half.
But
I think he's brilliant.
His plan was obviously, well, from what he said, was to get to 70 with a chance and try to nick it, and that's why he brought on Sterling, Coutinho, and he brought on Gerrard to boot the ball to him. But Gerrard's passing was off on. We were pretty close. Like the tactic almost worked.
What was the reason for it? Is it for experience against Chelsea?
The team that he's been playing has been terrible. So he obviously brought in new players. He brought in like Colo to man the defence, and then he brought in Moreno for pace.
Colo was excellent.
He was.
I think it's
like, and he was unfairly not played against Chelsea.
I would completely agree.
He should have played ahead of Lovren, who's having a nightmare of a season.
Start ahead of Lovren for a long while now.
Well, that's at least give him a go. Like, you know,
the Echo revealed a team sheet on Friday night before Saturday's game that they suppose had like the lads in Melwood, and this is pretty much going to be the team. And obviously they were actually very far off it, but Colo was there, and as soon as I saw it, I felt great. He was incredible that night. So the argument is this, and the Guardian did a great piece about it, kind of working off your point, John, that the team that Brendan's been playing is no good. Yeah. So the question really was he playing a more defensive team in a game where he was trying to nick it, or was it going against the Liverpool ethos that we're still a big club, came second in the Premier League last year, and if we're going to play Madrid and there's still points on the table, we should play our big name guys? This is the argument.
I think it was a right team. Like, obviously when I saw it first I was nervous, but Lucas is a lot significantly more solid than Gerrard is at just being a defensive midfielder, and Manquillo is significantly better defensively
than
Glenn Johnson is. Like, there was nothing really going forward, but again,
I would have put Manquillo right back and tried Glenn Johnson right wing.
No, Glenn Johnson's useless. He's no pace
you're
anymore.
Not going to get anything out of him.
And
when's the last time he had one of his like typical cut in on his left foot? He just
2009.
He doesn't do it anymore,
But I can't remember what I was saying now. But I thought it was a fine team. Like, we tried to play them at Anfield. Like, we tried to do this is our best. We'll go out and we'll fight you, and they got demolished.
I think what the plan was, Brendan saw this. This is my view anyway. He saw as like, okay, this is a free go. We're playing awful in the Champions League, to be fair. So what do we do? If we put out a somewhat reserve team and we get hockeyed 3 or 4-0, we put out the reserve team. We kind of got one eye in Chelsea. We can still beat Basel at home and go to Ludogorets and get the points we need.
Was Ludogorets first?
Oh, well, you know what I mean. Well, either or.
If we had gotten a point at Madrid and beaten Ludogorets, we would have only needed a draw against Basel. If the other fixtures,
you need 6 points, or 4.
6.
Yeah.
So then he'd be coming into the Chelsea game though. Essentially, he'd be like, "Oh, I've got fresh legs now," and I think he shot. Oh, if I can get a draw here against Chelsea, oh, look at me. I'm not tactical genius, but because I've done this, I've got a point against the champions elect already.
He certainly wasn't trying to get a point against Chelsea.
That's what it seemed like to me. That I think he would have been happy if you gave him a 0-0 against Chelsea, and even any score against Real Madrid, and it would like, there you go. Like, the ends justify the means.
I think that's like, you can listen to last week's show. The Newcastle match was the worst performance I've seen of a Liverpool team in years.
But why doesn't he stick with that team then, the second team?
Because it's obviously Chelsea. You can't, like, as good as they played, you can't start a thing at home against Chelsea. And maybe a sort of revenge for last year, if you want to call it.
Maybe take out one of the midfielders, throw Gerrard in, and then put Sterling in for Markovic.
We'll talk about it later, but I wouldn't have Gerrard or Lovren in the team for a while now.
Would you drop Gerrard?
Absolutely.
I actually thought Gerrard was the best player we had in the second half.
I think Gerrard was the worst player.
Wow.
Against Chelsea?
Yeah, in the second half.
I thought he was awful.
Okay, we'll get there. So anyway, that was the Liverpool match. Just in closing, I'd like to say, as a long-term Liverpool fan, that I don't think it was an affront to the club that Brendan played a second-string team. I actually think that it was pretty astute, and no, it didn't pay off against Chelsea, but I would not see that team that played against Newcastle only conceding 1 goal in the Bernabeu. So call it negative. I think he's doing the best at what he has at the moment, which is a team devoid of what made it special last year.
I do feel sorry though for the likes of Gerrard and the guys who really did so well last year to get us to the Champions League, and then it's like the Bernabeu. It was like every Liverpool player were like, "Oh, great, we got to go to the Bernabeu." When was the last time they were there? What, 2008? 2009, whatever it was, 2008, and then he's kind of like, oh, actually, yeah, you're on the bench, or you're not even.
Yeah, but
I don't understand why
that's a very small club.
I don't
ideal. Just like, look at this, lads.
No,
there you go, you little boy from Sunderland there, Hendel. Look at this big stadium. You'll never play in it again.
Yeah, and to be fair, they had ample opportunity to earn their spot this season so far,
and none of them have.
Well, I just don't understand though. But why did he revert back down all the way for Chelsea then? He pretty much
because Chelsea are the best team in the league, Dan, and fresh players. He brought Emre Can in, who was the best player against. But who would you have changed? Just Torre.
I would have gone with Barini or something up front. Had a Balotelli.
I don't think so.
Bally didn't have his worst game at the weekend. You know, it's the same old problem though of like nobody.
No one's creating anything for him. Like you can
give Lallana a run or something.
We played very well in those first 20 minutes. Then.
Yeah, you did. No, first 20 minutes you did all right. But
should we just go to the Premier League?
Yeah. Well, no,
right.
We got more Champions League to cover.
So, Dortmund destroyed Galatasaray 4-1. We had Juve slimming with a slim win against Olympiacos 3-2 when it was all said and done. Basel defeated Ludogorets 4-0, which was somewhat expected. Ludogorets finally showing the form that we thought they'd have rather than the one they came to Anfield with. Arsenal and Anderlecht is the other big story from Tuesday night. This was a 3-0 deficit against Anderlecht that was turned around to 3-all within the space of 21 minutes.
Just like to say, Dortmund are doing a very Harchester United Dream Team thing where they're like 20 points off Bayern Munich, 7 points bottom of the German league, but look like they might win the Champions League. So.
That's incredible. It's incredible.
I hope they do it. They won't.
Can we
finish comfortably?
We pretty much tipped on Arsenal there. I just want to have a big rant about Wenger, so we can do that into the Premier League thing.
Okay,
so
that's
we can just cover Arsenal there. That, so I think.
Well, just sticking on the Anderlecht performance, where did it all go to pot? What happened?
They got a goal that was offside or whatever, and then where say a normal team went, oh good, consolation goal. That's shit. I would have enjoyed my clean sheet. Arsenal went, oh no, and then went for a 4-2 and started playing like 2-2-8 or whatever it was. And just
this isn't the first time they've done this though.
No,
like I remember they had the 4-4 with Spurs a couple of years of that mad match, the 4-4. I remember they were 4-2 up with 10 minutes to go, and they were still bombing forward looking for 5th and 6th. I was like, what are you doing? Remember they were playing Man United one of the rare times I've beaten them in the last maybe 6 years or so. I think it was 2008-9 season. They won 2-1. They played really well for the match. Raphael got a late goal to make it 2-1. What does every team do? He brings on Colo Torre, our friend. Puts him, remember, he was playing defensive mid that year for a while. Puts him in defensive mid, he's one of the experienced players. I think he was like vice captain at the club at the time, to Cesc. And he brings him on, what's the first thing you do? Just fucking don't run forward, stay there, and protect the back four. Then a counter-attack. Every single midfielder ran forward. It's like, I remember, I didn't like him, but Andy Gray was laughing. It's like, lads, what he is doing. Like, seriously, what he's doing. He's like, actually, I'm enjoying this. There were all the full-backs are going forward. They left 2 at the back. It's like, what are you doing? Like, it's not new. You know?
Yeah, but they just
it's incredible.
Yeah, and it's like, this was, this was in London as well, which says it all.
But the best thing it says about Anderlecht, their best player is a right back who got relegated for Portsmouth in 2010, Anthony van den Borre.
Well, that was a hell of a team. We're going to be.
Kevin Prince Boateng was actually in the team for a while.
It was a ridiculous team.
Avram Grant, manager. Exactly. David James in goal, who's now
the end of
bankrupt.
Is he?
Yeah, he came out.
Oh, that's why he's selling his jerseys.
Yeah.
All right, okay, we'll get to that, I suppose. Spoofer. Yeah. This Arsenal and Liverpool stuff is a trend that continued on into the next night of Champions League stuff, and just the woes of the Premier League. City against CSKA Moscow. They lost 2-1. Moscow basically said they knew exactly what City were going to be doing the whole night.
Trying to get sent off.
City were down to 9 men.
Should have been 8.
Absolutely.
Right.
Fernandinho and Yaya sent off. Yaya got a straight red for pushing guy. Was that?
He was very frustrated. Obviously. Yeah. I thought that was going to be one of his when he scored the free kick. I was like, here's just Yaya being and then just you were like. Terrible.
He's had such a weird season.
Definitely see him leaving next year, no matter how well he plays in the season.
He's very important.
I think they'll try for a swap for Pogba.
You know, he was very important in the Champions League game, getting the goal, and he had an incredible assist for Aguero against QPR as well. So he's still doing stuff.
Do you think they're just stale? That was like my madness when I predicted them to finish 5th or whatever here in our start of thing. Where just they haven't changed the team. Like they brought in. Your man
Fernando
and
Mangala
and
Willie.
Well, yeah, they let Negredo go or whatever. They seem like
I think there was a striker.
They'd regret that now.
Yeah, Dzeko's out of form, and I'm just like, they just seem sick of each other. Like I watched most of the Moscow game and I watched the QPR game, and it's just obviously he's like their best player, but it's just sitting there going, these guys just don't care anymore.
Like Nasri doesn't give a shit. Clichy doesn't give a shit.
He's given they all have long deals. Didn't they give like most of their starting 11 5-year deals?
No, you're right. They're very lucky to have the best striker in England at the moment.
Probably the world, to be honest.
Well, yeah. Although Costa's record, even after this weekend, is incredible. We'll get to that. We'll talk about Chelsea. They drew against Maribor.
Hazard missed a penalty.
So his first one, is it, for Chelsea?
That he missed?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's like 17 out of 18 he has.
Chelsea really didn't do much at all
I don't think they had to really.
Felipe Luis played. He did okay.
When he came on against Liverpool, I was like, oh, for fuck's
I know, yeah, it was one of those. So basically, no Premier League.
Like centre mid.
Yeah. No Premier League team anyway. Won in Champions League match day 4.
Do you think that says, again, I know we tipped on earlier, the standard of the league is really just gone down? Like, obviously Chelsea are very good and they probably should have beaten Maribor, but the other three
they
are
haven't
really
been great in the Champions League.
The other 3 have been like it's City are so reminiscing of 2012, 13 under Mancini. The players don't seem to want to play for Pellegrini.
Yeah.
They seem really just fed up. They want their money. They don't care. Right. Like, I think, like you said, Pellegrini is a bad manager. I've always thought he's good, but I think there's just something wrong in that club, though. Like, when they won the league under Mancini, Mancini's volatile. He was falling out with players. They still won the league, though. They have to, like, realise, okay, let's get behind this guy again. Let's go again. And they were, how far were they off Man United by March? Like 12, 13 points?
It's hard for them to go after. Like, Ferguson would, like, replace players, whatever, and that's why they were able to win the league after. But City were just like, oh, that was fun, let's go again.
We also touched on this last week, though. I still remember Brendan Rodgers, maybe the transfers, he hasn't done them too great. You look at the players Pellegrini has brought in. Now, I don't know if it's him. I think it might be the guys upstairs. Tixi Begeriston could be doing a lot of it.
A lot of it had to do with financial.
The owner, yeah, exactly. But no, but they still spend a bit. Like Mangala, Fernando, Fernandinho, Negredo, Navas, Willie, Sagna.
What's that? The last few years?
That's last 2 years
since Pellegrini's come in.
Yeah.
Do you think that's standard?
I think so. I think we were all praising Fernando when he at the start.
I think he's actually all right. But Fernandinho
was incredible.
Negredo got a lot of points.
I watched the first half of that Germany-Brazil match today.
Oh well.
And I was just like, this man.
Well, Fernandinho was well. That was the end of it.
Like, I think he's finished that game.
I would put the Fernandinho, like if you look at the last season and then the Brazil match against Germany, I'd put that is to Fernandinho what the Champions League final 2005 was to Shevchenko. It's just, that's it. You were fantastic and now it's done. It's finished. You know what I mean? Like, I
think it was a miss.
He looks
a penalty
like,
miss then.
No, exactly, but he looks like he could be a different player. But look, I think Pellegrini got it right the first year. I think Navas was a great signing. He injected pace where they really needed it when they didn't want to play Milner on the wing. And when Nasri was injured,
Jovic is another one as well.
I think he got it more right last year than he did this year, but that could be, as John said, financial.
But like Mangala though, what did 32 million for Mangala though? You know, I suppose the prices are always going to be inflated.
There's never in the history of football, I think, that you could buy a centre back for a lot of money and he fits straight in. Like, I'd add Lovren in, except Lovren looks like the worst player ever. But like, especially this season, there's no centre back who just kind of walked in and went, all right.
How much did Ferguson pay for Stam?
10 million.
That works straight away.
Well, I know again where we're talking.
Vidic was similar. And
we said before about Southampton, but they got your man Toby Alderweireld from Atletico Madrid for what, 6 million?
Oh, wait to see about Southampton. They've set up very defensively and they've played no one.
He'd had an awful year.
Yeah, but they've played no one, but they're still very good defensively.
I agree with you, but I'm just saying they've played no one. It'd be like if United were 10 points clear in the league now. It'd still be like, they've played no one.
Okay, so just finishing up, Munich beat Rome at 2-0 at home, so it wasn't the repeat of the first leg.
I don't think they had to be honest.
And Barca beat Ajax 2-0. Ribery scored for Munich, and he's sporting quite a beard, quite a goatee.
Yeah,
it's outrageous.
Messi is one behind Raul now.
Okay.
No, he's equal.
He's equal, yeah.
And he's one ahead of Ronaldo, was he?
Yeah. No, is he?
Is that it?
Yeah, he's one behind. Ronaldo's one behind.
Yeah.
Okay. So Premier League, I don't know what much more we're going to say about Saturday's early fixture, which was Liverpool hosting Chelsea.
I've one thing to say about Chelsea. I thought the last 15 minutes of the first half, I was very impressed with them.
Yeah, they're great.
They pressed Liverpool into mistakes. They didn't let them play out. They made them hoof it up, and Terry and Cahill, Matic was like, that's.
Did you ever see the episode of The Simpsons where it's like the parent-teacher conference and they show like what Bart's like to the other students?
Right.
And the Bart grading system. And like whoever sits close to him just gets worse and worse. Oh, that's what Steven Gerrard is for Liverpool. Right?
Oh my God.
Right?
Well, Mignolet's not doing too well this season, is he?
What goal do you blame him for?
I don't know.
He's actually been quite well. He made some great saves in all the matches, I thought. Like, any other season bar this one, that goal, Cahill's, does not count. The keeper's hands. He's very behind.
Well, rightfully so accounted, you know.
Yeah, no, I agree, but I'm just saying, like, it's been unlucky.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. I do understand.
Like, the Hazard went on Gerrard, and the whole team went, shit. Henderson went up. Glenn Johnson was playing centre midfield just to mark Hazard. That's where the second goal came from.
Where was he going?
No, like he just had to say, like he was told. Apparently, I was listening to or reading something about people who sit beside Rodgers and Johnson, and he's just like, Glenn, just
Stop Hazard.
Stop Hazard.
Just run after him.
And Azpilicueta just beat Coutinho for pace, got a bit of luck, like the ball did go out of play or whatever. But it just happened, like.
Yeah, they made it like Emre Can scored his first goal for Liverpool, deflected goal 9 minutes.
Deserved it.
And then there was obviously the goal line technology for Cahill's after it was bobbling around the box. But the fact of the matter remains, like, they made Liverpool make several mistakes. Liverpool's passing was disgraceful.
Did you see that Glenn Johnson clip?
Which one?
He just like gets the ball past that ridiculous Chelsea wall. It's just like, pass it like to like Matic or something, like no one around, just like
no, it was awful. One thing that does need to be said about the Azpilicueta goal: the ball did go out of play.
That's fine. Not fully though.
It definitely went out of play.
And also, there should have been 2 penalties against Gary Cahill. One the first half, one the second.
I think that would have been very hard.
One at the second. The second one was a penalty, but I don't think that's the story.
It wasn't going in. It wasn't.
I don't think the first one wasn't. The second one, the handball, was a penalty.
Yeah,
clearly, but I don't think. I know. It's very.
You don't think a draw? It wouldn't have been a fair result either way.
I think a draw wouldn't have been like out of like.
Would have been outrageous.
I'm sorry, just to correct, that wasn't Azpilicueta goal. It was Azpilicueta going through on Coutinho.
Costa and Skirtle don't like each other.
Nope.
They were like literally
trying
to rip each other's
eyes out. They had a fight
out.
A few weeks ago on an international break, Spain and Slovakia.
Oh, they did actually.
Yeah, so that was the story behind that.
Two of them were
Costa going around with a ripped jersey, which
that was hilarious.
You think you'd have to change that?
Yeah, but the most of the thing was with Chelsea, I thought they were very good. They controlled the game. Like, besides, I know the first half you had a few shots, and Sterling had that effort in the first half, which is well saved near post. Besides that Barini header at the very end, I don't think.
Did Chelsea create anything though?
I just thought they were always completely in control.
Yeah, no,
and if they had to
it was one of those top 4 matches you'd expect.
It was Mourinho. Like you really said exactly what it was on Twitter. It was like they just know how to set up in these games. And Mourinho loves going to places like these. He loves going there.
I know, yeah. But
and he's just like, I'm just going to fuck
Liverpool
everyone over
on
and annoy
4.
everyone.
Liverpool, if they were in 4, I don't think they have a 4 in the season. But if Liverpool went there after, like, they hadn't scored for like 4 matches or something before, even if they had been scoring for fun going into that match, I still would have been like,
did you have any optimism after the first? Let's say before Cahill scored when you were 1-up, you're doing all right, like, you know?
No, not really. I still thought
you were very pessimistic throughout.
They're much better than us and we're terrible. We lost to Newcastle last week.
Yeah. Okay, so West Ham and Villa had a 0-0 stinker. Southampton, keeping the run of form alive, beat Leicester 2-0. Shane Long was brought on as a sub and scored 4 minutes apart, 76th and 80th minute, to make it 2-0 for Southampton. United edged past Crystal Palace.
United were terrible. Crystal Palace set up there for a draw.
Yeah,
anyone would have told them try to attack that makeshift defence.
Mata came on as a sub and scored. They switched. The players switched positions 9 different times during the match, as in like where their starting position would be.
There's rumours that Van Persie's getting a 2-year extension.
That'd be great.
I'm very surprised.
Doesn't deserve it, I don't think.
No.
I thought the one bit of foresight that Van Gaal had was that Falcao was going to be the replacer of Van Persie.
I don't think he likes Falcao. I haven't seen Falcao start. Other than that,
he's got a knee problem.
Yeah, that's why he hasn't been.
That's the whole thing with Falcao. How fit is he going to be this season? Like, he's played what? He's started about 2 games.
He started, I think, yeah.
And then since the West Brom game, he's been injured.
Matt is perfect for those sort of matches. I didn't see why he didn't start. Like, unless he's trying to build to something like Matt plays instead of Januzaj against Crystal Palace, who have no.
Yeah, Januzaj hasn't really done much.
I don't know why
2 goals against Sunderland.
I just don't know why Matt has gotten the slack this year. Like, he's been as consistent as anybody in that team.
I think his goals and assists have been good, but I think his general play has been fairly bad.
What's Januzaj done?
No, I just said Januzaj hasn't really done much, has he? To be fair.
Look, if I was a Manchester United fan, I'd be happy to have Mata.
Januzaj would probably give more better balance to a team, though.
But just in case, I don't know if there's many United fans who'll complain, but you kept a clean sheet, don't think.
Who was playing centre half? Was it McNair and Carrick?
McNair and Blind, I think.
Oh, yeah, it was Carrick and Blind.
Carrick didn't play.
Did he not?
No.
Well, Rojo's out for 6 weeks with a shoulder.
Carrick played midfield.
Yeah, did he?
Yes.
So must have been McNair then.
I watched the match, it was dreadful.
Yeah, it was Carrick, Fellaini, Januzaj, Di Maria, Rooney and Van Persie.
It's been the worst 3 o'clock round of fixtures all season.
It was gas. Leeds were 3-0 up at half time and there was only 2 goals in the Premier League at half time. Can you believe that? Leeds scored more goals in the whole of the Premier League at half-time.
That's incredible.
Leeds better than Premier League.
You heard it here first.
Absolutely. Antonucci.
QPR hosted Manchester City at Loftus Road. Oh, sorry, Burnley beat Hull City 1-0. That was their first win of the season.
Well done, Burnley. Well done, Burnley.
The Austin 2 disallowed goals in a minute.
This is what I was getting to. Okay, so well done, Burnley. So yeah, Austin had 2 disallowed goals. The second one was amazing because he was already doing his celebration, and he turned around and everyone.
I couldn't believe it. I tweeted that. It was like, do you remember in the Guardian all those few years ago? You used to have to like be the referee, and they'd have like the most difficult situations. Apparently, Joe Hart hit it twice or something.
No, but that was I immediately screamed at that, and I'm like, that has to be an indirect free kick in. How can he?
No, it's
the rule is if you do it twice in the box, you get to take it again.
What?
In the box. He
so that's a good way to piss everyone off and waste time.
He gets one chance.
I think it's very hard to do.
Yeah, if it's intentional, I don't think that they'd be too happy. But yeah, that's the rule. We also had another dubious referee call with Tim Howard that we'll get to.
That's so funny.
It was fucking amazing. Spoofer. All right, so Charlie Austin, as John said, finally got his goal after 2.
Do you think he could be good for an England call-up?
I don't see why Lambert and Butler is in it.
Is Lambert still in that squad?
Yep.
Why?
England are terrible.
What? Like, I like Lambert, but he's not playing. He's playing terrible, and he hasn't scored a goal. He can't be in the team.
I don't think you could say he's playing terrible. He's playing like 10 minutes each way. It's like...
Okay.
Poor Ricky.
So Sergio Aguero then scored the most ridiculous goal of all time.
It
was offside. It was also a handball, but it was amazing.
The first touch was just...
He's good, isn't he?
He's very good.
Like, he hasn't got injured yet this season. That's the key. If he gets injured next week or something, what the fuck are they going to do?
Paddy Power made an absolute mint in this game. Keith Barry predicted that QPR were going to win, and apparently a friend of mine works for Paddy Power, and he said that the odds went from like 13-2 to like 6-1 or something. Like the odds just dropped because a guy in work put like 50 quid on it.
I'd
love if it came out that Barry put 20 on to be a draw.
I actually thought QPR would win that regardless.
They should have won it.
They should have. Like the way QPR are playing at home, like I don't think they'll pick up much in the road, but Harry's actually they're finally playing to their strengths. Like they're hoofing up to Zamora. He's causing loads of problems. Austin's winning the flick-ons.
It's Kenny Dalgley's dream. Like, it's a hoof up to the big man and knock down to the striker. Like, it's absolutely...
No, but like when Austin's good in form, and since they dropped Rio Ferdinand, they look a little bit better at the back.
They're not playing 3 at the back.
Well, no, Richie Dunn's done really well.
By dropping him being suspended, of course.
No, he was dropped first and then he got suspended.
Grant.
What was he suspended for? Just saying I was in your mother last night. Or
yeah.
What an idiot! Like honestly, like
no, why do you get suspended for that? Like,
yeah, but you shouldn't.
I think it's because he's a bit of an arsehole.
Oh, he's an absolute dick.
Di McKelly's own goal on 76 minutes, which then led to Yaya Toure.
Oh, it's disgrace because I thought that was an Austin cross. And I had Austin fancy football team, so I don't know why it wasn't given as an assist, but.
And then I suppose, and then Sergio Aguero scored in the 83rd minute after a really good over the top through ball from Yaya.
Great match, to be honest.
Charlie Austin tweeted after the match that it was it's very hard to play against somebody who has the best striker in the league. So he was humble.
I like when players do that. It's like when Suarez used to just destroy Norwich, and the Norwich defenders would be like, "What do you expect us to do?" I think it was Snodgrass just like, "What do you expect us to do?"
He's not even a defender.
Yeah. Or Ruddy tweeted when Liverpool sold him, like, "I think I deserve a bit of that money."
That's fucking great.
There's one I was just going to bring up Suarez. Suarez last year form or Aguero at the moment?
Suarez last year.
I think Aguero the way because he's literally carrying a fucking horrendously badly formed team.
I think that's really hard to
say. At least Suarez had the team were playing pretty well, but Aguero City are terrible. It's hard. It's 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Yeah, I might go with Aguero because when Suarez was banned for those 10 games, like we were fine with Sturridge.
It depends on he's just really in good form now, and he's scoring I'd look at certain matches for Liverpool last year when it was just all Suarez's.
Yeah,
just being. It's hard to say.
I think it's
both excellent players. And
very different. I'd say Sergio Aguero is a lot more of a just goal
I can see Aguero going to Barcelona
and Suarez coming back.
Him and Suarez eventually playing in the same team.
Suarez would go back to Italy or something. I don't think he'll last long in Barcelona.
Really? Okay, we'll talk about him playing for Barcelona in a minute. We had Newcastle keeping their run of form up with a 2-0 win over West Brom at the Hawthorns. Next, we had Spurs losing to Stoke at White Hart Lane.
Harry Kane. They started him, and
they finally started Harry Kane. We called for it last week, and we were wrong.
I didn't call for it last week.
I definitely called for it last week.
I definitely called for it.
England's rose, Harry Kane.
Him and Andros Townsend, the two best young players in the world right now. You know,
It was a great weekend for Irish players. Robbie Keane scored in America. Long got 2. Walter scored.
Did you call him Schlong?
Yeah,
good man.
Shane Long.
I know. It's just a picture.
I completely missed that. I was like, ooh, that's good.
Okay, so the Sunderland Everton game on Sunday was 1-1. Leighton Baines making good for the penalty missed at Old Trafford by
Shane Coleman should have scored. He would have been another Irishman.
That's right. So who was it who was basically clean through when Tim Howard jumped on the ball?
Oh, no one was true. It was like a pass back to Howard. Howard's like, I'll waste a bit of time here, and the ball didn't go out of play. So he's like a brave man jumping on a grenade to save his platoon, and was like, ah! And
this is just outrageous. And like the thing was, like, see what would have happened? No, but who came through? Like somebody came through.
Larson, I think.
Larson.
And Larson's the slowest man ever.
If Larson had gone to like try to kick the ball from underneath him, would it have been a free against Howard?
I'd imagine no, it would have been a free out.
I just don't understand. You should not be allowed to do that.
It's one of those madness.
It's sort of like a Joe Hart thing again. It's just makes no sense.
In the post-match interviews, like I just made sure I knew I wasn't in my box, so I made sure to get on it and not handle the ball. It happens sometimes. You show me one other example of this, please, Tim Howard.
He was pretty much just like on the ball, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But it's not. You can't do that as a goalkeeper. I'm pretty sure you can't.
It's an obstruction.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't. Like, it's like you sitting on the ball
It's
in the middle of the match or something.
Anybody can't do that.
Yeah.
It's just one of those. You can't do it every week, but like no referee's gonna be like, red card there.
I know the protocol here.
Yeah.
It was baffling. And then finally, Alexis Sanchez doing his usual business for Arsenal, but it was not enough. In the space of 3 minutes, Sigurdsson's
my goal of the week. I was watching that free kick go, and I'd love.
Great call, yeah.
What's he doing there?
He was brilliant though, Reading and Swansea.
I know, and he was.
Spurs ruined another player.
He went to Spurs and said Liverpool for money. And I was just like, actually, it happened to Liverpool a lot. It was like, we bid this, okay, and then another team goes, we'll bid more.
We're from London.
Yeah,
come join us.
Yeah, but it happened like 3 times that
Dempsey.
year.
Speaking
Dempsey,
of this, Brendan came out today and I wish he hadn't. This is the first thing I've been like, no, Brendan, please don't do this.
Yeah,
because if
he pretty much called Liverpool a kip.
If anything, he's reaffirming the idea that players don't like Liverpool. So anybody who maybe was thinking about it now might be like, well, if the manager says that there's better places to live.
Well, to be fair, anywhere kind of in like Newcastle, Middlesbrough, Leeds, Liverpool. They're all dumps up there.
He said this sort
of
thing.
Don't say it.
Oh no, well they are though. Like
he says something like this all the time. Like he had an interview or something, and he goes, "You're trying to sign a player," and the player goes, "And how quick is it to the airport?" And he just went, "Right." Just hung up the phone, just like I'm not
like what was it? Do you remember in the late 90s, Middlesbrough? They had Ravanelli, Juninho, Emerson. Fucking all these fucking Brazilians coming over and Italians. Gianluca Festa.
Yeah.
That all these guys coming over. It's like, how are you getting all these guys?
Pre-internet, man. You can't just go on Google Maps.
Juninho apparently showed up. He goes, this is a lovely little city or a town or whatever the fuck he said. And it's like, there's all these like, kind of like plants and stuff, all the smoke coming out. And it's just like...
What, there was a new pope?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Black smoke.
I will sign for Middlesbrough.
So just finishing off with the Premier League, then Gomez scored in 78 minutes and did a really weird celebration where he was pretending to be armadillo or lion. I can't really tell, but he was scratching at the air and crawling on all fours.
Some sort of
Chambers had a
animal.
holocaust of a game. If you're allowed to say that to her. It's an Arsenal thing. But Dan has a rant. So.
Okay, so Dan, Arsenal lose a 3-goal lead in the Champions League to earn a point.
And Dan, before you go on, I'd just like to say I've had some pretty decent, like I've compared Wenger's Arsenal to like a limp dick and I want kids to die on the streets. So you really got like
lest we forget he wants kids to die on the street. So and then after losing a 3-0 deficit and only getting a point in the Champions League at home, they go to Swansea. Their only informed player scores a goal, but yet they lose 2-1. What's happening?
It's just like, you guys know I've actually defended Wenger, and I tried to. I thought actually when they won the FA Cup, I was like, this guy now, he's won the FA Cup. I was thinking, the best time is for him to go now. If he stays, he has to build again. Because that's the era gone. He's got rid of that monkey off the back is gone. So he's got the FA Cup in the bag. What does he do? You think he's buying well. He buys Chambers and Debussy quick, and he buys Sanchez quick. And it's like, okay, he's actually buying players now. And you're like, right? Okay, Vermaelen's leaving. Okay, so he's obviously getting another centre half in. Maybe Vlar. Maybe he's going really good centre half. He needs someone, surely. Or maybe he's just waiting for Khedira, or he's waiting for someone. It's like clock is ticking. He comes in with Welbeck on the final day.
And he didn't come in with Welbeck though.
Wait, he said he didn't want him.
No, he didn't sign Welbeck.
Even though Welbeck has actually done okay, to be fair.
Yeah.
But it's just like, change your fucking tactics, mate. Like, this is...
You know, Swansea had more Arsenal youth players on their squad than Arsenal did. So all the stuff about Wenger building for the future. Where is that future?
Like, so they sold Barkley, the centre half, for $1 million in 2012. And like, keep walking to the centre half at the moment. Like, how do you have Nacho Monreal? I feel sorry for Monreal and Chambers. Like, Chambers, he's one of those days. He's against a ridiculously fast
you have bad days
in Montero. You can't live against that. Like, if that pace, like those piss and rain, tough game. What does he need? He needs a fucking winger to come back and help him. Clearly, help a centre midfielder go and help him. Mertesacker go and help him. Just don't give your man space. Just fucking condense it. And they just we'll just leave him 1-on-1. And then he leaves, and then everyone's saying Monreal is shite. He is shite, but
he's not a centre back.
He shouldn't be playing centre half. It's not his fault for playing centre half and getting beaten in the air by Gomez.
It's like when people slate Glenn Johnson. I'm like, he's not a footballer.
Yeah, exactly. It's the exact same. Except Monreal has been put there by Wenger. Like, it's all down to Wenger this now. Like,
I don't think when Chambers signed, he expected to be playing as much in these kind of games either.
But that's so. But where does it go down to? Like, if if your milk has gone off, what do you do with it? Did you throw it out or put it back in the fridge?
You throw it out.
Yes. Well, that's what Wenger's fucking not doing. He's going, I'll just put it back in the fridge. That's exactly what Wenger is.
So he has a fridge fetish.
He's just like...
Does he not sell it to City, though? Like, watching Sagna and Nasri this week, it's like, Jesus.
But he's probably lucky to get rid of those guys this week.
Nasri doesn't care about anything.
No, he's a prick.
He's an interesting case, all right.
No, but it's just like... Wenger, he really... Like, what are they going to do? Even if he... Like, there's no point getting rid of him during the season, but... If he goes, for example, at the end of the season, and they go... He's on a 3-year fucking deal as well.
Yeah, so they're going to have to pay him off.
So they've got 2 years. So that's what? 8 million a year, is it? Pay him off?
I don't know if they have to pay him the full amount of his contract.
So, well, okay, for example, say
it's a case-by-case basis.
Say if they do get rid of him, for example.
Would it not be like a divorce and he gets half the stuff? Like, surely...
Well, he'll end up upstairs as like some sort of like main fella on the
board.
Like
living in the attic, like.
What's he going to do then? Yeah, he fucking would. You go down and see, have a slide come down in the attic, I say. And but like, what's he going to do? He's going to just implement his exact same ideas of not spending money, having the exact same philosophies.
In fairness, Dan, you can't say that not spending money is a tactic anymore. He's bought Ozil and Sanchez. That's 100 million.
He's buying it in the wrong places. He quite clearly is.
Well, yeah, but
not for Sanchez.
Chambers was a lot of money as well, wasn't
he? Chambers about 12.
No, we can't defend it. I don't think we can defend his transfer.
No, you
business.
can't. Like, it's just
they're doing the best out of all the top 4 teams, really.
Well, bar Chelsea and City. City were okay.
Chelsea don't count. Chelsea are in their own league.
No, but it's just like, like he actually had like this time last year. Arsenal, I thought, were the best team in the country. This time last year.
Yeah, they were
the best. Well, they were top by about 7 points. They were the best team in the country.
It was this time last year we started to put the run together.
No, it wasn't.
That was a bit January.
It was definitely January.
Well, we started picking up this time last year. Because remember we went to Christmas.
I think you got beaten by Arsenal this weekend actually last year.
Didn't we go into Christmas first?
No, Arsenal were first.
We were Christmas Day. We were first.
Christmas Day we were first.
Okay.
Because I remember saying to you that anybody who's ever been first on Christmas Day always won the league.
Only one team has been Christmas and not won the league. It's Liverpool. And they've done it twice.
Yeah.
Leeds, and then finished like 8th this season.
Leeds are New Year's Day 2002 top. So sad. No, but like, if you go back from 12 months ago, where's the club now?
I know.
Like, it's just incredible. Like,
Sanchez,
loads of the fans are actually fighting amongst each other. They're actually fighting.
Well,
the club is not going the same direction.
We kept
Something
saying
has
that.
to happen.
Hope Arseblog's okay. What they need is a really fat WWF. D'Lo Brown to pop in.
We'll get there.
No, but like, if you look at any club, it has to go. Everyone has to go the right way.
Sure.
Everyone. That's from the players, the board, the manager, the fans. They have to go. We're going this way. We're going that way.
Has any club done that?
Chelsea.
I don't think they have.
Well, they are at the moment.
Yeah, but they just have Abramovich's.
Liverpool were going the right way last year. You could just tell. Like, you know what team is going the right way. Arsenal are going in completely different ways, and the fans are completely split. That's going down now. Getting onto the players. Mm-hmm. Like yesterday, it was 1-0 with 20 minutes to go. Like, he's no defenders to bring on. Like, surely he should bring on Bellerin that really fast fullback he has. Bring him on. Like Chamberlain was actually doing well. Maybe swap him and take Cazorla off.
Chamberlain wasn't doing well.
He brought on Sonogo and he did a goal and actually lulled. It's like when we bring on Ricky Lambert.
Did you see what Sonogo did? The first thing he did, he just gave a stupid foul away.
Yeah.
It's just like...
He was like...
but that's down to Wenger for having him there. It wasn't until Mesut Ozil came in last summer.
Who was that stupid Arsenal player a few years ago?
Danielson? Song? Arshavin? Bentner?
Danielson.
There's been a few of them actually. No, I'm trying to think of one. I can't remember his name actually. We'll come back.
Ramondi.
We were always saying that, it's a given, they'll do the same thing, blah, 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 get fourth. That's not even a guarantee now.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's like,
you think so?
Yeah.
I think it would not have nearly been better if Wenger had finished fifth last year.
Yeah.
And then the board go, wait a minute, there goes our revenue. We still have a kitty. We have to go maybe and go a slightly different direction and not just think fourth as a trophy. Like, I think it would have been perfect just for Wenger to go out.
There's not
winning the FA
Cup.
Cup.
A single team that's finished outside the top four, bar Chelsea when they won the thing, that it's worked out well for. Like, if you look at Liverpool and United, you haven't looked at either of them going like, that season they didn't. It took Liverpool 5 years to get back in there.
Yeah,
and they're struggling.
But Liverpool were financially going the wrong way. Arsenal are sitting on fucking pockets of gold there.
Yeah, but so are Tottenham.
Arsenal probably have more hope of getting certain players in than Spurs would.
Of course. Like, Sanchez is going to... Like, Spurs are fucking crap. Like, they're shite this year. They really are.
Okay,
like, they shouldn't be fucking... I'm just pissed off the whole situation.
That's enough about it.
Damn London clubs. Tell you stealing our players.
We have just a couple of more little notes before we move on to the international preview. Oscar signed a new deal at Chelsea. That's pretty good for them. Although he's not like super duper duper crucial, I think, in the grand scheme.
Yeah, but they could definitely get money off.
Yeah. And Leeds given a winding up order. Now, did this wind you up, Dan?
Leeds news.
So what happened?
Just some creditors are looking for money, and it's like
the way you told me the story was such a like because they're Leeds. Like if it happened to Liverpool, I'd be like, so Liverpool got a load of debt, and then people asked for that money. It's like,
it's the old owners from Bates and GFH who didn't pay off people, and now they're coming to Chilino going,
but it was obviously stuff for Leeds. It wasn't like I painted Ken Bates' house. And he used to work here, and I demand money. It wouldn't
surprise me if someone fucking went and polished his fucking yacht and his fucking jet.
Do you know who your owner is now, who didn't pay his taxes on a boat? Like,
yeah, that was in Italy, not in England. Okay. No, it pisses me off though. They even said, the current regime is fine, but we will have to get that money back, and it's just like, so it's a couple of more million like just fucking thrown away at bad management of the last 15 years. Bad management, and it's just pissing me off that Chilino was picking up all of the fucking.
I was talking about Dortmund doing a Harchester United. I feel like Leeds are more like it, except it's only the bad stuff. You're shooting away in the dressing room like an actual storyline, like winding up, bankruptcy, relegation. It's all fun time.
Yeah.
Anything happened in the championship this week?
An Irish player scored 2 for Derby.
Okay, segue. Let's talk about this Irish team to take on Scotland. Gordon Strachan came out this week and had some wise words for McCarthy and McGeady. Basically just like going on about how, you're born in Glasgow, just what's wrong with you?
Have you seen all the fighting talk in the Scottish papers? Like,
what? Tell me about it.
Like, they've got 3 decent players and 2 of them were born here. They wouldn't even make it into our team. Like, I think they said like Coleman, yeah, McCarthy, yeah, O'Shea, maybe.
Okay, so they're kind of not far off.
Like, we'll beat them comfortably here, and we'll probably beat them away. But Gordon Strachan probably be happy with 4 points.
Okay, we can settle this Scotch dispute pretty quickly. Did McCarthy or McGeady ever get offers from the Scottish national team?
I'd imagine they did.
Do we know this for a fact?
Scotland were mad for McCarthy, and he hadn't made a cap, and then Trapattoni gave him a 2-minute game against Brazil.
Yeah.
And he came on, and Trapattoni's like, I give him the game, I give him the game, everything is good. And it's like, no, he has to be capped competitively. Trapattoni didn't know this. He goes,
that's right.
He goes, what? Oh, he fine. It's like, no, Giovanni, he has to play a competitive game. Then they brought him on for 30 seconds against Macedonia the next month.
He's a good egg.
2-0 up against Macedonia to bring him on. It's like,
he's a good egg. Should get him back.
Sure. Look, listen, we've done better. Gordon Strachan was very he had an amazing press
conference. Do you not
conference.
think he's right though? Like, imagine people born in Ireland and like I know it's completely different. It's a different sport. Your man Owen Morgan, the cricketer, he's big player for England.
It's completely hypocritical.
I'll give you a League of Ireland. I'm not talking about
hold on.
cricket.
Gordon Strachan, right? He mentioned two. He then went on to mention, and I don't have the names in front of me. He went on to mention 2 English players who happened to then play beside him in the Scottish national team. And when he was asked about the difference, there, he was like, "Oh no, they consider themselves Scottish." It's like, this is how international football works.
No,
Germany Poland thing.
Yeah,
sure, Klose and Podolski and Ozil, Kadira, they're all fucking half Turks.
Yeah. Like, look, listen, this is ridiculous.
No, what I'm saying is the Owen Morgan thing, he was like completely Irish. I don't know how he even qualified for England. But it's just like, you would feel, see, we're lucky that no one leaves us because they're happy to play for us for some reason, because it's Irish kind of pride or whatever. But if someone, like, for example, say if like Roy Keane had the chance to play for England or something, or Robbie Keane, or Shay Given, some of the best players you've had the last 10, 15 years. If they just went and played for England, we'd be looking at them though. We'd be looking at them. It's like, what are you doing?
These are very extreme examples.
Yeah, I honestly think that either like they might have been born there, but you don't know how they were brought up. And secondly, if you're looking like if you want to have an international career, you're gonna go. I might go with the team that's qualified for 2 tournaments.
Well, James McLean refused to play for Northern Ireland.
Yeah. He also refused to wear a poppy, which I was going to say Hero of the Week, but I really don't care.
I don't know if that commends as Hero of the Week, but I do think I was very... I think
he should be...
He should have the choice. They showed on everyone. You see like Coutinho and Balotelli and all.
I know, yeah.
They're fucking wearing it they're wearing it in the Revista de la Liga.
Yeah, it's very much part... look, we can get to that, but listen, first of all, I just think they're very extreme examples you were making. Like, it's not like McGeady and McCarthy are head and tails above absolutely everybody else on that Scottish team. They just happen to be good for us.
They're our best players, probably.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not like saying, what if Roy Keane went to... Roy Keane declared himself for Wales. All right, so let's go through the Irish squad.
You could probably pick the 11 here for Ireland. Well, probably.
Okay, why don't you go through the whole squad and tell us who's playing then, in your opinion?
For some reason, we've got 4 goalkeepers in the thing, and that's minus Kieran Westwood, who's injured as well. So, I'll go through the goalies here. We've got a Millwall goalkeeper, an Aston Villa reserve, a Newcastle reserve, and a Birmingham City goalkeeper, bottom of the championship. So there you go.
Well, yep.
And our other keeper is injured at place for Sheffield Wednesday. So, even though, to be fair, Ford, he's alright, he'll go and goal. Richard Keogh will probably come in centre half beside John O'Shea.
Cyrus Christie not play.
I have never heard of Cyrus Christie until today.
Not the name of the
horses. I actually watched the championship and I have never heard of this guy play for Derby ever.
If the back of his jersey says Cyrus, I'll buy it.
Like Cyrus the Virus.
Yeah,
that can't be fucking Irish. That's not a proper.
He's English. He's English.
Fuck him.
Apparently, him and David McGoldrick, who's also in the squad today, he's an Ipswich Town player, only got their passports like last Friday, so they can actually be in the squad and play for a FIFA match. Like,
how very Irish of them.
Yes. So I think the back four will be Coleman if he's fit, Keogh, O'Shea, and I would imagine it'd be probably Stephen Ward. Kieran Clark hasn't played enough football to get in there. For some reason, Jeff Hendrick is down as a defender in this, but he'll be definitely playing midfield because McCarthy probably won't make it. So it'll be Gibson and Hendrick, you'd imagine, probably midfield.
Don't care. I don't like international football.
Do you think so?
Who else is there?
Gibson and McCarthy, did you say?
No, Gibson and Hendrick. Hendrick, for some reason, isn't the defenders list.
Oh, well, do you not think McCarthy's going to play?
If he's struggling with it or not.
Oh, okay, all right.
Well, if obviously he does it.
Did Houlihan not make the squad?
Houlihan.
I think he must be injured, is he?
I don't know if he's going to be spinning in his grave. We all wonder why he's
Houlihan,
not there.
He's not that good.
Neither is Eamon Duffy. Doesn't stop you from watching it.
No, he's a fucking idiot. McLean and McGeady presumably on the wings, like they're grand. He probably put Stephen Quinn, wouldn't he? He'd probably put Quinn in there.
Okay.
There's a lot of Hull lads in there in midfield, Jesus. And then up front, he might just go one up. I don't know.
I'm looking at the Scottish team here. Like, I don't know. At least got Naismith.
They've some decent players. Like, could be probably
James Morrison.
David Marshall in goal. Bardsley, he's actually injured, isn't he? Christoph Berra. Russell Martin.
I don't think you have to go through the 23
Robertson, Whittaker.
Scotland title.
So anyway, what do you think the result's going to be?
Can we get some music in the background of all the team naming out there? I think we'll lose.
Do you think so? Do you think that they've done enough to play the mind games with those two crucial players of ours?
They'll get bullets in the letterbox or something like that. Didn't that happen to Neil Lennon when he said he was going to play for the Republic?
Well, he never said he played for Republic. So he's really manager of Celtic.
No, but I
think he said if I would have.
Yeah.
But the treaty or whatever, the dual passport thing wasn't in back then, so.
Okay, so
yeah, I don't see us winning anyway. But I'd gladly take a horrible 0-0. Yeah. If we got a horrible 0-0 there, we're actually fucking flying.
I was watching it. That Germany 90 minutes ago is worn off on me, and I'm remembering the 89 minutes beforehand.
Yeah.
What if we win though? We're 6 points ahead of Scotland.
That's quite incredible.
Like that's a really we can lose away to Poland and at home to Germany.
Northern Ireland are playing Romania, second in their group, and they could pretty much qualify, would have been.
Gordon Strachan said that Ireland really have overachieved so far. So I suppose he's right in a way. It would be good to get a draw there. Is there any good other European qualifiers taking place over the week? No. I'm trying to get a list up here and I'm struggling.
Didn't really. Who are England playing? Slovakia or Slovenia?
They'll win by a few goals.
Slovenia, I think.
Jeez, John, it's
Sterling
like
fucking
doing a podcast with Ken here. You're so negative towards this international football.
Always international football.
Yeah, Ken's rant there about wrestling, and he just suit everything to suit me because what was it going mad at?
Yeah, that's This Ain't Fake Brother available on Thursdays or at thisaintfake.com. So that's it really. We'll have an interesting show next week. We'll go over all the European qualifiers, and we have a little bit of a this one I can't really include myself in. Best 11 you've ever seen live. So I can't really do much, but I'll do my best. So we'll do that, and maybe we'll finally do our FIFA 15 review. How about that? So we'll get together over the next week. We'll do a FIFA 15 review, Premier League preview.
It's Pro out.
International. It is, and I'll get it this week. Okay, and we'll compare both. There we go. So that's what we'll do next week. FIFA versus Pro. International roundup.
I think the listeners probably much prefer International Week where you can play games instead of talking shite.
Exactly. So we'll do that International roundup and
talk shite about games.
Yeah,
okay. So teaser time.
What was last week's teaser?
Oh, the last one was the ridiculous one I made top of my head. Two players who were top scorer in the Italian league since 2000 to play in the Premier League.
Sanchez and Tevez.
What?
Crespo Shevchenko.
Yes.
There you go.
Well done, Neil.
Thank you. And I didn't even remember the question from last week. Brilliant. Okay, so awards. Go ahead.
We have to have this week's teaser.
This teaser as well.
Oh, excuse me.
6 Liverpool players to score their first goal against Chelsea. And it's, again, we always try to make it relevant to what's going on. So that is this week's.
Do you always try to make it relevant?
He does, yeah.
I try to do my best.
He always has a question.
Well, no, last week was complete nonsense because I forgot to do it. But
usually your question is
I do my
part
best.
of a thing that's happened, you know. Okay, that's grand. So
6 Liverpool players to score their first ever goal for Liverpool against Chelsea. And you got 2 of them earlier.
Did I get 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you should try really hard at this for next week. Don't
Google it now.
No, don't Google it.
Don't have to Google it.
Do you have some awards for us?
Yeah, John probably has a few as well.
Go on, John.
My spoof for the week is I saw this today, and I'll try to explain it. So you know that like Chinese anime thing.
Anime in general.
Yeah. So I was watching this bit of anime today, right? Anime, yeah. And then there's Di Maria in his full United kit in full anime, right?
Wow.
Yeah, and he gives it to Blind or someone, right? He goes passing it. It's looking quite nice. It's really anime. Then it goes to Van Persie, who like shoots this ball made out of hearts and fire or whatever, right? And it goes into the net, and it's a big anime ad with Manchester United for pot noodle.
Wow.
So I just had
what flavour pot noodle?
Something terrible, I'd imagine.
Curry?
Yeah.
Or curry?
That's always curry, isn't it?
They call it
you
red,
get mushrooms and you get fucking barbecue now, and
they could call it Red Devil and have it cinnamon flavoured as a tribute to the chewing gum of years gone past.
Or what about the golden nugget? No, the golden grahams. It's like skateboard scooter.
That's incredible. And was this ad on British television or did you see it online?
I saw it online. And my hero of the week are 2. The one is just a small one, and it's just Colo Torre for almost man of the match against Real Madrid. Who could have said that?
Yeah, he stopped Ronaldo scoring. Exactly. Like Ronaldo started scoring again this weekend.
And my second one is Yaya Torre. The first for that hilarious clip of him just milling a 6-year-old in the head with a football where 2 grown men dived out of the way.
I think the girls.
This poor little girl did my Tim Howard thing of taking the grenade for everyone else and just got smacked in the head. But Yaya Toure did go back and got her a signed jersey for all the QPR and all the City lads. So
I'm surprised Yaya actually bothered his arse going over there to give it to her in the first place.
Most effort
he's very lazy. He's very lazy at the moment.
He's not,
since they never gave him a birthday cake, he hasn't been the same player.
He's not a cruel man.
Is anyone following Colo Toure on
his
Twitter,
name's
by
Tim.
the way?
Is he on Twitter?
Yeah.
What's his English like?
It's just photos. And
That's
it's like
so
sleepy
funny.
man. It's just an 80-year-old man just sleeping.
So he's taking photos of random old men.
I'm sure they're his mates. Like Colo's probably 80 or something.
Well, he does have a brother who's a second-hand car salesman. Yeah. So, my hero of the week is D'Lo Brown, who was interviewed outside Anfield. He was asked about, just before the Chelsea match, he was asked about Mourinho, and he said he hates Morano. He hates his guts, so much so he knows his name.
Would he have been on the roster in 2007? Remember he came back for a few months when Mourinho was ringside?
I don't know if he was there. But the point is that what was amazing about this is WWE are on tour at the moment in the UK and Ireland. And
D'Lo Brown's not with them.
D'Lo Brown's not with them. Obviously, they like going around to sports grounds getting their photo taken. Seamus is a huge Liverpool fan, and he was also pictured at the ground. But D'Lo Brown literally looked like he had no affiliation with anybody. He was just picked up randomly. I don't know why he's in England. He was wearing all this Liverpool. He was wearing a Liverpool jersey, a Liverpool Everton scarf, and he literally just looked like he was there.
You wouldn't have known him.
It was fucking hilarious.
I just stumbled across it and I was like, wait a second.
I think it's so good. I didn't know that he was that much of a fan. So he's my hero of the week. Spoofer of the week, I'm just going to give to... I have to give it to Tim Howard. I don't know if we're ever going to see anything like that again.
Oh, wait, I have another spoofer. Can I jump in?
Go for it.
You know your man who played, who was knocked out in the World Cup final?
Kramer.
This is my spoofer. This is my spoofer. You had to take it.
No, I'll let you have it.
Okay. Well, before we do, try to think. My goal of the week would be.
This is also my goal of the week.
All right. Listen. Go ahead. Do yours and give us the team.
Okay. So the spoofer of the week is Kramer, the guy who got knocked out with the World Cup.
What happened?
For his amazing own goal. What was it? He had it. Wait, what?
40 yards.
40 yards from the goal. He chipped his own goalkeeper, went in 1-0, and gave Dortmund our first win in like 10 games.
What was he doing? What was he doing?
He was just trying to give back to Keith.
I haven't a fucking clue what he was doing. Where was Herman the German to help him out? He's his midfield compatriot.
Do you see? Shame he didn't have Neuer in goal. Did you see Neuer's touch the other day at a
What's
pure
he doing?
board?
What is he doing, that man? Like
he's having a great.
Was it
mind.
Beckenbauer saying like he's completely, or was it Rummenigge, one of them?
It's like when I play FIFA and like whenever I get bored, I just hold on to that triangle bud. Like I'm just having a great time.
They're just saying like he's completely revitalizing or revamping what a goalkeeper is, and essentially you play outside the box with your feet. Like I've seen him actually take players on and get past them, and then do a flick with the outside of his boot.
He's Rene Higuita, the Colombian keeper. He's the closest thing to that, to the embodiment of him. He's like a mix of the Brazilian. He's like
who got his. Did we mention him last week?
We did, yeah. Yes. He's like a mix of Chenny and Higuita.
Except amazing keeper as well.
He's so good. Yeah. His save against it wasn't Gervinho. Gervinho cut in and then
I remember seeing it.
Who was I don't
know the guy I can't pronounce, the number 4 in midfield. That guy, Nigerian or something. Yeah,
that fucking save. He's Neuer's just incredible.
Yeah. So Kramer just essentially lobbed his own keeper. So he's kind of, I think he could be hero and spoofer. I'm giving spoofer to Yaya Toure for what he was doing the other night. Like that's standing off. It's just like this guy's on like 300 grand a week. Come on, Yaya.
Okay.
Well, I would have given it to Nasri more than anyone else. Like that.
Well, he didn't get sent off for his. He was lucky.
Yeah.
So I'll give you a team of the week as well here. So Brad Guzan made some ridiculously good saves against West Ham.
Yeah.
Janmat had 2 assists for him. Cahill, he got a goal. He played well.
Yeah, Cahill's great.
Colaccini got a goal. Clean sheet. Baines got a penalty. There's no one else really. I'm putting Matic, Sissoko in midfield, and then I'm going to put Shane Long. Unfortunately, has to go on the right wing, so he's playing anyway. And I'm putting your man Montero, the guy who just pretty much destroyed Chambers. And I'm going to go Charlie Austin because he pretty much kept scoring without getting a goal. And Aguero as well because he was amazing again. Also, I've got Hero of the Week. It's actually Heroes of the Week. A non-league team recently tried to get Pornhub sponsor on their jersey. And the FA or whoever the hell it was, the lower body leagues, were threatening to kick them out of the league because they actually got it printed on them Pornhub, and they're like, these guys are giving us some money, and like it's good like advertising and everything, and like they were told to get rid of it.
I would also
poor team. It was like Basingstoke Woods or something.
Heroes, the West Ham team who were trying to raise money for testicular cancer and now posed naked for whatever it was. So
there's your.
That's right. That was very nice. Oh, my mic's gone.
Again. Dude, your mic sucks. Are you actually gone?
Yeah, I was gone there, so I'm gonna we'll finish up now in a sec.
Well, no, we have to just quickly about the Revista de la Liga that was on tonight.
Okay, I'll turn my mic off.
Yeah, you may as well. Essentially, it was on tonight. Vicente Calderon was the old Real Madrid president, and essentially he came out some interesting things how he bought Cristiano Ronaldo. He said he wanted Ronaldo in 2008 during his 42 goal season. He said he would join them, but after the Champions League final. But then he pretty much said Ferguson is like my dad. Essentially, I can't leave him for one more year. So then the agreement was Ronaldo pretty much negotiated his deal, not actually Madrid. So it was Ronaldo negotiated. If Madrid come in at 80 million, you have to take it. So he was going to go. And then the interesting thing is, when Ferguson came in then about halfway through that season, I'm not selling you to Madrid. I think he just felt threatened by them or something. Maybe the La Decima still hadn't gotten, and he wanted to make sure they never got it with him in charge. And he actually goes, I will sell you to Barcelona for 80 million. They want you as well. And because the 80 million figure was agreed, and he goes, no, I only want to go to Madrid. And eventually they allowed him to go. That's really interesting. Like, imagine he had fucking gone to Barcelona for 80 million, like, because it would have been him, Eto'o, Henry, and Messi.
I don't think Henry would have played.
He scored like 25 goals a year. Like, it's ridiculous, but yes, and this is interesting how Perez actually didn't want him outscored into the president.
That's a lot of money. So,
but yeah, well, he's definitely repaid it anyway.
I think if he didn't want him, he wouldn't. Like he was.
I think almost Ronaldo seemed to kind of have that thing. Is like,
I think
you don't want me, but I'm gonna prove to you. Like Ronaldo's very good at proving people wrong. He tries so hard.
They had an event there on Wednesday because the Football Manager film was released, and they were talking about stats and how like they obviously lied, and how like Tom Cleverley had like 100% passing rate the other day, but only like 2 of them were forwards. And they were saying how Barcelona sold Fabregas because he would always try to look for the needle pass, and he wouldn't. Well, Barcelona don't like that, so his record in the final third was horrible. And I was just like,
the most assists in Europe.
Yeah, no, but he'd try more than anyone else.
Yeah, no, we shouldn't get rid of him.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't think Suarez will last long there. Even I don't think it'll.
Well, I'll tell you, they're fucking brutal. They were against Almeria. Messi still hasn't beaten Tirazara's record.
And he never.
It is interesting when Barcelona hit the bar 10 times in 3 matches.
Messi's hit it 5 Sergio times. Ramos got his 50th goal there.
Same amount as Iniesta.
Yeah, and Iniesta took 100 more matches.
Well, to be fair, Iniesta's more of a
attacking mid, yeah.
He creates goals and he runs the game. So
I don't care. Sergio Ramos is a defender.
Okay, it was that's an amazing stop, by the way. It was Allsworth Villa FC.
There you go. With the Pornhub, yeah.
With the Pornhub. Okay, really quick before my mic goes again. The Fantasy League code 1744551-525194. 1744551-525194. Nobody else joined, even though we were pushing it, so we'll see.
I had an excellent week this week and still didn't go anywhere.
Did you? Okay, let me get that in a sec. But just one thing, we were asking people to join it. We got amazing feedback on last week's show. About 4 people who I didn't know, who I was pretty sure never listened before, listened last week. Ooh. So that's good. So we got quite a lot of good reviews last week. Seamus is still in 10th. 2 points ahead of him is Dave Nocton, who has now gone back into 9th. He was 10th last week, so he's obviously listening. Good man, Dave. Enda has dropped, or Enda, do you know what? It's actually everyone's the exact same from last week. Enda in 8th, Tommy in 7th, John in 6th, myself in 5th. So John, I am 40 points ahead of you. Rob, Ronan take 4th and 3rd respectively. Dan is in 2nd place, and 16 points ahead of him is Gary Kiernan.
Who?
Exactly. So well done, Gary. Keep it up and give the code out to other people so you can be top of a group with even more people. It's more impressive, right? So
or I can go down lower.
We'll stick that code in, but until next week. Any parting words, Dan?
Check out Di Natalia's goal. I forgot to mention that. An amazing goal this week.
Surely that should be goal of the week.
I had it written down
Was it in Serie A?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Dan, and thank you, John. And go play FIFA and Pro Evo if you have them, because we'll be reviewing them next week.
Buy Arsene Wenger zips. Sorry.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
Here we go. You're looking at the real deal now. Gonna kick your sorry ass out on the street. Is that what you got? You used to think you owned the street. Well, back to back, cause your ass is dead meat. Victory's sweet. Bring it on. Here's your receipt. Bring it on. What you gonna do about it? Bring it on. Is that what you got? Bring it on. And what you gonna do about it? Bring it on. Gonna kick your sorry ass, but what you gonna do? You're looking at the real deal now. Gonna kick your sorry ass out on the street. Bring it on. What you gonna do about it? Bring it on. Is that what you got? Bring it on. And what you gonna do about it? Bring it on. Gonna kick your sorry ass, but what you gonna do? Here we go. You're looking at the real deal now. Gonna kick your sorry ass out on the street. Is that what you got? You used to think you owned the street. Well, back to back, and your ass is dead meat. Victory's sweet. Bring it on. Here's your receipt. Bring it on. What you gonna do about it? Bring it on. Is that what you got? Bring it on. And what you gonna do about it? Bring it on. Gonna kick your sorry ass, but what you gonna do? You're looking at the real deal now. Gonna kick your sorry ass out on the street. Bring it on. What you gonna do about it? Bring it on. Is that what you got? Bring it on. And what you gonna do about it? Bring it on. Gonna kick your sorry ass, but what you gonna do?